My roommates wanted me to stop cleaning up their mess, so I cleaned myself out of the lease instead. I was the only woman living with 3 man-child roommates who treated me like their personal maid while turning our house into a biohazard. And I don't mean just leaving dishes in the sink. I mean growing entire ecosystems of mold while their underwear decorated the furniture and pizza boxes fused permanently to our carpet. Every time I cleaned their filth and moved their stuff to reasonable places, they'd rage about me hiding things and being too controlling. The worst was Scott, who once sneered at me while I scrubbed dried vomit off the bathroom floor and said, "Maybe if you got on your knees for something other than scrubbing toilets, you wouldn't be so desperately alone." But things got exponentially worse when Scott's girlfriend Stephanie started squatting in our house without contributing a penny to rent or utilities. This girl didn't just stay over occasionally, she colonized our one bathroom with her entire Sephora inventory, while taking 2-hour showers twice a day until the hot water was gone and I was washing dishes in water cold enough to numb my hands. The bathroom became my personal hell with her products multiplying across every surface, her hair clogging the drain in thick, revolting clumps, used razors scattered around the tub, and bloody tampons left out on display like she was marking her territory. When I politely asked her to keep her arsenal of bottles in Scott's room so I could clean without playing Jenga with her skincare routine, she looked at me with dead eyes and said, "I'm not moving my stuff just because you have OCD." Scott immediately backed her up. "Stop being jealous that I have a girlfriend who's not a bottle of Lysol." I tried one last time to discuss the shower problem and walked right into an ambush, Stephanie smirking while the guys looked way too pleased with themselves. "If you're so tired of cleaning up after us," Scott said with that stupid grin, "then just leave our stuff where you found it, problem solved." They actually congratulated themselves on this genius solution while I stood there processing their smugness. That's when I smiled sweetly and said, "Okay, you got it." Malicious compliance became my new religion, and I was about to deliver a sermon they'd never forget. I knew their routines, their dependencies, and exactly how to use their own stupid rule against them. I started with the bathroom during my weekly deep clean. Instead of moving Stephanie's arsenal of products, I simply sprayed everything with scrubbing bubbles and let that industrial strength cleaner work its magic while still in place. Her $50 shampoo bar melted into expensive goo within minutes, and every bottle became permanently slick with a chemical film that made them impossible to grip without dropping. Scott's laptop became my next masterpiece when I found it plugged in across the main walkway for the 100th time. Following their explicit instructions, I left it exactly there and simply vacuumed around it, which meant I had to step over that cord repeatedly. Naturally, I tripped, sending his laptop crashing to the floor and yanking the charger out mid-game, causing him to lose some important raid progress that he'd been working on for hours. "You said to leave it where I found it," I reminded him innocently when he discovered his dead laptop later, but the pièce de résistance came when I found 6 pairs of their shoes scattered across the living room rug like they'd been having a footwear convention. Vacuuming needed to happen, but those shoes were exactly where they'd left them, so I simply rolled up the entire heavy rug with all their shoes trapped inside like a giant shoe burrito. I vacuumed while they searched frantically for 45 minutes late for work. "Where the hell are our shoes?" Scott screamed while Stephanie whined about missing her shift. I continued vacuuming calmly, taking my sweet time with every corner and crevice. When I finally unrolled the rug, revealing their shoes like some magic trick, they stared at me in speechless fury. "Oh look," I said cheerfully, "they were right where you left them." They called me a psycho beach and said I did it on purpose, but I simply reminded them I'd followed their instructions. After 2 weeks of this treatment, they were ready to negotiate, so I suggested we all split a cleaning service. "Fine, whatever, just stop with your petty bullshit," Scott muttered, and everyone agreed. The next day I came home with papers, when I knew Stephanie would be the only one there. "Found the perfect cleaning company, just need signatures," I announced, waving the documents. She grabbed them without looking up, asking, "Where do I sign?" while scribbling across multiple pages and complaining about the length. What she didn't realize was that she'd just signed herself as the primary leaseholder, taking over my portion of the rental agreement completely. That night, while they were all out drinking, I packed my belongings and left a note on the kitchen counter along with the lease transfer documents. "Congratulations, Stephanie. You're now officially a rent-paying resident. Since you love living here so much, I transferred my lease to you. Rent's due on the 1st. My phone exploded with texts and calls as I drove to my parents' house, but I felt nothing but sweet relief knowing I'd never have to clean up after those disgusting children again.